And the presidential primary is not a winner-take-all. If any Republican gets 20% support, they will get delegates from Colorado sent to the national convention where Republicans will choose their nominee. If any Democratic candidate gets 15%, they'll get support at the national convention where Democrats pick their nominee. And that includes a candidate known as non-committed delegate. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger is at the presidential primary watch party at DU to explain the effort to siphon votes away from President Biden. Marshall?
Well, hello there, Angeline. The effort to get Democrats and unaffiliated voters to turn in the blue ballot and choose non-committed delegate, that began last week following an effort in Michigan where 100,000 voters did it. It's being led by the Denver Democratic Socialists and the Colorado Palestine Coalition. It's basically a protest vote against President Biden for not being able to get a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas conflict. The effort to get 15% for non-committed delegate would mean, if that happens, Colorado sends delegates to the national convention where those people would vote for no one the first time around, though if there were a second round of voting, they could choose Biden if they wanted to. So I asked some of the supporters if a non-committed delegate vote today is just going to end up being a Biden vote in November.
So if someone is choosing to vote non-committed this time, and if they've never been electorally active in the past, it shows that they have a clear stance on this issue and that it means a lot to them. We have a lot of folks, a lot of younger voters, folks from diverse backgrounds, a huge number of Palestinians themselves who live here in Denver and Arab Americans who care very deeply about this issue.
And that's a really hard thing for a lot of us, right? Is this idea that if Biden loses, Trump wins. But if Biden wins, he needs to do what I have asked him to do. And he's showing that he's not going to do that. So in that regard, he's not better than Trump.
Both of those voters told me they voted for Biden in 2020 and would not do so in November if it was Biden versus Trump. Not to be lost in all this is the Republican ballot, and the one thing we're looking for is, will Nikki Haley get a win in Colorado, or will it be Donald Trump territory just like it has been across the nation? And I can't forget that we're at a DU watch party. These are students here who have been engaged in the presidential primary process throughout, and I always love a good game of bingo. Super Tuesday bingo, and I don't think they're watching us right now, but I'll just give them a little, can't wait for the American Samoa votes to come out and hear some Taylor Swift lyrics being joked around at the polls. Look, 3 right there, 3 across.
You need some incentives, right, to get the young people out to the polls. Bingo, pizza, it's anything that you can get them there, right, Marshall?
I mean, there's cookies, too. I thought for a minute it might be free food gets them out here. These people are really engaged. There's one class here by a DU political science professor, so they're already kind of in the weeds about this to even be in that class in the first place. So these are truly students who care about this. And I'm going to tell everybody, you're doing a phenomenal job, and to go home and watch it after they're done here, Angeline.
Passionate students who are the future of our country. Thanks, Marshall.